7:37 all across the country. And this morning we're being joined live in studio by Darren Buckner. He's the CEO of Portal HomeHub and Guyana HomeHub. Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, good morning, Mr. Moseley. How are you today? It's a wonderful day. It's nice and warm here in old sunny Guyana. I just came from ice cold St. Louis, Missouri, in the United States. It was freezing. We're talking really cold, snow on the ground. It was just ridiculous. I'm just happy to be here.
So you got good weather conditions here, so you're happy for that.
Oh, absolutely. I love it every time I'm here.
And I know lots of folks will want to be happy to hear about HomeHub and Guyana HomeHub. Tell us about the company and some of the services being offered through your company.
Well, Guyana HomeHub. First of all, let me say this. First of all, because people always ask this question, why is this American guy even doing Guyana HomeHub? Why does he even care? Well, I like to first of all let them know. Well, as far as I'm concerned, as far as my family is concerned, they call me Guyanese because I love cook up. First of all, I like pepper pot. You name it, I like it. I like roti. You name it, I like it. My wife is Guyanese. Rochelle Paidana is my wife's name. Her father's former cricketer, Milton Paidana, otherwise known as Golden Glove. That's why they knew him here in Guyana for years for winning some championships. Well, Guyana, we came back and forth to Guyana a couple times, and we were trying to buy some real estate, and it was really difficult. So what we did is we built a platform that will allow buyers, sellers, renters to all come together in one spot and be able to just purchase real estate. They'll be able to see everything right there in one spot, click, even contact the agents or contact the landlords directly, depending on how they want to do it. And they can just come right there in one spot and they can get everything they need.
That sounds pretty good. So it's like a web platform that you've developed to, sort of allow buyers to meet those sellers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, when you come from the so-called first world countries, sometimes I hate that word, but it is what it is. So we come from the United States. I travel to South Africa. I go to the UK. I go to different countries like that, and we always have it so easy. And my wife, I remember how frustrated she was. We were looking for some land back home here, so we can build a retirement home, and we would go on and we trying to look through Facebook and a bunch of WhatsApp groups. And I mean, you just got lost. You got lost in social media. And when you're here in when we go to the United States, we just go to one website. They got a couple of them, but we go some of the big ones like the big Zillow platforms, and everything is in one spot. And it's just so easy to contact and look if I want a 3-bedroom or a 2-bath, or if I want a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. If my budget is 1 million, or if my budget is 600,000, then I can just go right there and I can click it and I can put in 600,000, and that's all I got. And it's going to show me homes for 600,000, not homes for 1.6 million.
And I know one of the big things of for persons, especially those overseas who want to come back home and they want to do their shopping around for a home or so, they want to ensure that they're not being scammed. They want to ensure of, when they meet with someone, they're being honest and they're being real, and they don't go buying a property online, and when they arrive in Guyana, there's no property in the land.
Look, that's a classic story around the world. And yes, it happens in the United States too. So people think it doesn't happen. It can happen anywhere. But that's why another layers of protection have to be put in place. I mean, what we do is we don't just let an agent come on board. I mean, we go through their credentials. We even ask for ID in some situations when we're just not 100% sure. But we make them give references. They have to show us properties that they have verified that they sold before, so we can check. And we want to make sure they're just not, blowing smoke up everybody's, the backside. We just want to make sure everything stays up and up. So while you will see most of the agents on there are verified, there are going to be some that are not. But we make it clear, if this agent is verified, it's going to say verified agent. So that gives that buyer or that renter an opportunity to make a choice. That do I want to go with this verified agent, or am I just going to click this guy and hope for the best? But we want to leave that option out there open because, we know everybody can't be verified. Because, I mean, if you just started yesterday, that doesn't mean you're not a good agent. It just means you haven't had an opportunity to be verified yet, but we want to make sure you get to list your property too.
And of course, you're protecting, the potential buyers and persons who are going to be using your website to find a home here in Guyana. But it's also an opportunity, a growing opportunity for Guyanese real estate agents.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's a great point. And I'm glad you brought it up. I didn't even have to say it because with a website like this, with the reach that we have, reaching Toronto, London, Guyana HomeHub, it allows agents that have never ever been able to reach these people before. Or like I said, they're not, if you're like my wife, for instance, she just doesn't trust Facebook Marketplace. She just doesn't trust it. So, you know, if you're in Toronto and you're looking for something in Guyana, and yeah, you got a cousin or something like that that might go look for you.
And that's, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but that's how sometimes how our relatives abroad have to depend on. That's what they have to do. They gotta. Oh, I have a friend in Guyana. He's gonna go check out the property for me, and he's gonna let me know. But your standard, their standard, completely different.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we have buttons where you can actually contact the agent directly. So you don't have no middleman going in the middle and hoping that my cousin makes it. And on Tuesday, oh, you're gonna go out on Tuesday. Oh man, I couldn't make it right then, but I'm gonna go on Thursday. And then you call him on Thursday, and then he said, oh man, I got something I got to do. No, none of that middleman stuff. You just click. And then next thing you know, you're talking to the agent, and you can even set up a time, and you can set up a place, when to meet them. And the thing is, by doing things like having the photos of an agent, you feel like when you're talking to them, you already know them. When you go meet them, you know exactly who you're meeting. So if some other guy shows up, you're like, okay, well, what is this? Where's the agent I've been talking to that I see online?
And we've been seeing our landscape, at least, here in Guyana, as a Guyanese, I've seen the landscape and change in such a way. We've seen our economy grow. We've seen the introduction of businesses and services that we didn't think were a possibility here a couple of years ago. And so we've seen the way the oil and gas sector has transformed our country, and real estate being a massive, massive part of that. How is Guyana Home Hub going to tackle that? And how will it help to, not only revolutionize the way real estate is done here in Guyana, but of course, bring everyone up to the same level, up to the same speed?
Well, first of all, the tech behind Guyana Home Hub, that's the real thing. See, there's a back end that regular diaspora don't see, or regular people in Guyana that are just buying a house or renting a house, they don't see, and that's fine because they're not interested in the tech. What they're interested in is something that they can trust, something that can get out there, something that's just easily clickable. And when you have the oil boom that's going on here in Guyana, the first of all, we haven't even seen the biggest of the bigs. I think last year you guys had what about a 34% GDP, which was the largest in the world. So, and I know the numbers are changing up and down every year, and people don't know, but it doesn't change the fact that it's one of the largest GDPs in the entire world. And when it comes to real estate, you got to follow the money. And wherever the money is, guess what? That's where the real estate's going to go, because ExxonMobil executives, they need a place to stay. And then you have the workers, they need a place to stay. And the agents, they got to be there so they can sell it to them or they can rent it to them.
And we always have this discord between persons who live here in Guyana, persons who live abroad. Some people make the time and have the opportunity to visit quite often, and some of them don't. But you might have some people out there, whether they visit often or they don't, and they want to invest in Guyana. They're thinking to themselves, what's a solid investment? I've always heard the saying that land is an appreciating asset, or property is an appreciating asset, and that's definitely something you could go for. And so they might be interested in going down the avenue of real estate. What advice would you give them? Because operating and doing business in another country is completely different. I mean, as we've all experienced, completely different ball game here in Guyana. So what advice would you give to the folks on the outside who are thinking, let me buy this little house, I'm gonna fix it up, get it renter friendly, and then get to be part of this this boom?
Well, that's when Facebook comes in, believe it or not, because there are groups of people that they talk about this. There are verified developers that you see around town, that you see you see them on the website. You have to really, sometimes, believe it or not, you got to just look at their website. If someone has a $2 website, why would you give them $2 million? I mean, this is just a fact.
Right.
I mean, when I come on your show, here at Gordon Moseley, when I see the equipment and I see how you guys perform and all the years of experience that you have, I'm going to trust you. And a lot of times it's two words that are involved when it comes to making sure you invest back home and you do it properly, or if you're going to make money. It's two words: due diligence, due diligence, due diligence. And we even protect our homeowners or potential buyers on things like that. Like if a for sale by owner goes up, we put a warning there. We make things very clear that this is a for sale by owner. So you have to do your due diligence, because this person, they don't want an agent. And guess what? That's their right. Some people want to bypass an agent and they want to go straight to, the
Dealing
person
directly.
potential buyer. Yeah, absolutely. So, but we still put it up there because we want to be transparent that, hey, this is a for sale by owner. But then what we do on top of it, right next to that for sale by owner, we make sure we list a verified agent.
I want to come.
just in case.
I want to come to that a bit before we wrap up. The verified agent, because I have seen agents before online selling their homes, and they'll make you think you're moving in to Sam Lord's castle. But when you get there, it's a different reality check. So, in having those verified agents, what are you doing to ensure that these guys are top notch
Yes.
and they're not just fooling your customers?
That process.
Well, you know what? First of all, look, I have to be transparent. There's no way to filter everybody out. That's impossible. I mean, I don't care if you've been doing this for 100 years. You're going to find some people, they've been doing it 101 years. And they're gonna pull a number on you and be like, wait, what the heck just happened here? But what we do is we make sure that we don't allow duplicate listings. That's number one. Secondly, we actually gather information from homeowners. So while we don't necessarily post their information, we don't post their actual address to protect the homeowner or that person selling the property, we make sure that this house is real. We make sure that there are plenty of photos up there. We have a certain amount of photos that they have to have. There's a bare minimum of photos they have to have. And then on top of that, they have to put all of the information. So it's clear descriptions. You can't, agent just can't go in like they do in Facebook Marketplace and they put 3 or 4 words. Look, I saw one really funny, guys. I love Guyana. It makes me laugh. But I actually saw someone on a Facebook post and they put land for sale and they put it on an actual sign and it said for sale by owner, a red and white sign, and then they just put a phone number on there and how much it was. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I said, this is what they call in selling land. So we do our best to do that.
And that website is GuyanaHomeHub.com. That's GuyanaHomeHub.com. You can click on that website and get all the information. And I'm very happy that you've launched this because a lot of folks overseas have been looking to buy properties, as you mentioned, looking for that retirement home. They want to come home and build, but they want to ensure that when they make that investment, they can rock back in their old age or in their retirement years and be happy with that investment. Or maybe they just want a vacation home back here in Guyana. And so it's really good that you've launched this portal, GuyanaHomeHub.com, to assist persons in sorting out, fact from fiction in a sort of a way, and they get the best quality of service, and they're getting the good quality homes when they decide to buy or even rent, and that's a really, really good move. And so, congratulations to you, Darren, on that.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you guys having me on, and I appreciate the warmness of the Guyanese people. It doesn't matter how many times I come per year. It's not just the weather, but it's the people.
Glad to hear that.
And the food is
And the
just
cook-up.
freaking incredible. That's right. Don't forget egg ball. I do eat I kind of overdo it when I'm here.
Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. We were talking this morning with Darren Buckner. He's the CEO of Portal Home Hub and Guyana Home Hub. And you want to check out that website, Guyana Home Hub. That's HUB Hub, GuyanaHomeHub.com. If you're looking to buy a new home, if you're looking to rent a property, they've brought everything into one place, GuyanaHomeHub.com. Really good information this morning from Darren Buckner. And so we encourage you to go and check out that website if you're looking to buy or shop around for a home to live or rent. So thanks a lot for being here again this morning. Have a good one.